In the past few months, I've lived in Hawaii, LA, traveled Europe, and now I'm living in New York for a bit. I just graduated college and I've been a nomad. I've been trying to figure out where I want to live and what I want to do with my career while traveling and understanding different ways of life. I want to share with you my story on what I've learned so far as a nomadic postgrad. So for the last 3 years, I went to college in Orange County. It was some of the most amazing years of my life, even during a pandemic, and I had the coolest job of working part-time in the music industry and shooting and editing for artists. I graduated a year early and I knew I should probably leave my college town. When I graduated college back in June, I had absolutely no idea what I was going to do with my life. I didn't know whether I wanted to work in the music industry or if I wanted to find a job that allowed me to be flexible and work remote. All I knew was I was excited to have a time where I could just do anything and maybe I could just figure it out just by living, hence the gap year. It's a time period where I don't fully commit myself to a full-time job and I don't have to be anywhere or do anything. I could just do whatever I wanted. I figured I'd saved enough money. I could just do some remote work while traveling, so I decided to become a nomad. I put all my stuff in a storage unit and then I decided I should probably figure out where I wanted to live. I went to Hawaii first. It was free rent for me where I grew up. It was a good way to save money, but I knew I wouldn't stay there for longer than a month because it was my hometown and I was never really happy there. So I went to LA. It was somewhere I could see myself settling down in. I was there for 2 months. The creative energy was so inspiring and work was easier to find there. And I was constantly surrounded by people that share the same passion as me. But the traffic was horrible and I was honestly pretty sad and lonely there. Then I took a month-long trip to Europe.
No, I just can't make this thing work one time. You think that I'm checked out, you've been feeling left out, used to being let down again and again. You think that I'm checked out, it's getting in your head now. I think you want me dead now and I understand.
I traveled to 5 different countries and it truly opened up my eyes to a different way of living. Working to live rather than living to work. Hustle culture is huge in America, so it was really refreshing to see that life is meant to be enjoyed, not working. I think that's where things changed for me and I realized I didn't want to sell my soul to corporate America. We are at the Spanish Steps. We leave back home in 2 days and it's very sad. We have Barcelona tomorrow and then we go to New York. The thing is, I wasn't ready to stop traveling. In fact, I'd caught the travel bug and this trip had only made me want to see more of the world. I thought after so long of being a nomad, I was going to want to settle down, but I was completely okay with continuing to not have a real home for a while longer, so I would go to New York, see if it could be somewhere that I could live, but I was okay with continuing to live spontaneously from there. So I came to New York and it's been an absolute dream of mine to live here. I've literally wanted to live here since I was in middle school, so it's pretty surreal. I immediately found a sublease while I was in Europe for this really nice luxury apartment. It's really expensive, but it worked out for the time that I wanted to be here. I love how interesting everyone is and how lively the city is. I absolutely love it here. The only thing is that it's really cold. I don't think I want to be here for the winter, and also it is really expensive, so that's kind of something I need to navigate. While living here, I really thought a lot about my finances and just working in general. Yeah, this was crisis number 2, what every postgrad has. What did I want to do as my career? Someone asked me the question, if you could do anything you want, regardless of the paycheck, what would it be? For me, I realized it was traveling and creating. It's literally what I've been doing since I was in middle school. I used to just bring my GoPro on trips and document what I was doing. I also love music, and I would love to work in the music industry again in the future, honestly, but for right now, I want to prioritize just traveling. So the goal right now is to just figure out how to sustain this lifestyle, and maybe at some point I'll get tired of traveling and want to settle down, and if I do, it'll probably be in New York. After meeting so many new people in New York, LA, and Europe, witnessing all these different ways of life, I realized there's no right or wrong way to live. It's all about priorities. If your priority was to travel, you would prioritize that. You could find a remote job and become a digital nomad. If your priority was to make a lot of money so that you could live super comfortably, you'd do that. If you had a specific dream job or business, you'd work your ass off to get to that level, even if that means not being able to have as much time off. They are all right ways to live, and I sometimes get pulled in different directions. But I think what matters is if you're happy in the present moment. If what you're doing is exactly what you want to be doing. If it isn't, you can change your lifestyle at any time to try to get to where you do want to be. I feel like people place so much pressure on what you want to do for the rest of your life when, in reality, your priorities and goals will constantly be changing, and you don't have to just stick to just one thing. Life is honestly just a fun little game that you have complete control over, so make sure you're able to enjoy it. Oh my god. Wow. It feels so good to be back in a freaking car. Wow. Okay. As you can see, I am back in California right now. I'm in San Francisco. It honestly feels really good to be back, but I do miss New York quite a bit. My New York sublease was from mid-October to end of November, so it was about a month and a half, and I'm here in California for the first week of December. I've been taking care of things with my car because I've had a car here. I think I'm gonna sell it, and I also have been going through all of my storage unit stuff, which has been super fun because it's like Christmas again. Overall, I've just really enjoyed being in different places and just exploring new ways of life. To anyone that is about to graduate, do not rush into a job. If you have the money, or if you can live at home and work a lot during the summer, I highly, highly, highly recommend take an extended period of time to travel. I know it can be scary to not do what might be expected of you, but I want to encourage you to do what you actually want to do. Use your savings to see the world, pursue the dream job that you actually want, and message the people that you've always wanted to meet up with. Life is just way too short not to. So you might be wondering what's next for me. I actually have a flight booked to go back home because it is Christmas time. I've been able to kind of build my freelance career, and I am making enough to sustain myself. So I'm gonna keep traveling for a while. I really like documenting my life, so I hope you just stay tuned and see what happens in the next year.